Hi there, back for another video. I haven't posted a video in a very long while, so I decided to just do this really kind of random video. And if I look very blue in this video, I actually have two lamp lights. Let me hold on for. This is basically the lighting I have for this video. Yeah, I decided to put the blue light, so if I maybe blink and might close my eyes a couple times, it's because the light's kind of really bright. So yeah, but oh wait, the lights are kind of bright, so. Yeah, but basically, this is just kind of a random video, which I don't really plan on doing too many of these, but I decided to do it because why not? And it's a book haul. First off, I'm going to start with the books that I actually got this month, and then I'll kind of delve into the books that I've bought from the library, which you'll be seeing a lot in my wrap-up. The first two books I have here are Going Bovine and Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. Now, I was not really a fan of her Gemma Doyle series by her, because I just, like, the first book was okay, but the second book I just found really painfully boring, and the third book I couldn't even finish, so I decided, like, I'll read it later sometime. And now I have two books, these two. I don't really know too much about these books. All I know, personally, is that both of them, sorry for that little pause, I need to go. Sorry for that pause. How I know about this book is that it's about a kid who gets mad cow disease, and for this one, it's about our group of three college contestants who, they end up getting marooned on an island, and that's all I know about both these books, but I cannot wait to delve into these, but due to the library haul I have, they're not going to be my TBR this month. I'm actually going to read both of these after I read a certain series I mention in this TBR. Okay, and all these other books I actually got together. The first one is Stardust Being the Game, which I actually do plan to read this month. Like, hopefully I do get through it, because, you know, it's a pretty short book, and, yeah, but I haven't really been double reading books at the same time, but hopefully I can get started, because it is a pretty short book. It's only like 200 pages. The next one I got is a graphic novel called A History of Violence by John Wagner. This actually has a very famous film adaptation directed by David Cronenberg, so if you've ever seen the film, this is the graphic novel that is based on. And, yeah, of course, since I, of course, read the book before seeing the movie or TV show, yeah, I'm going to read this. You know, it's a graphic novel. I don't really think that it will take me too long to read it. The next book I plan on reading near the end of June, that is Amy Rogers' Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. I've read Since You've Been Gone, like, 2 years ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but the chapters were so long. Luckily, the chapter doesn't appear to be that one. It's not as long as Since You've Been Gone. This is, like, one of her earlier books. Actually, the first book I'm pretty sure she wrote under her real name. She's previously written books under a pen name, Katie Finn. And this will probably be a very perfect read for summer, because it will probably be very light, fluffy, contemporary read with a road trip. The next one I actually got is, I've already read the series in single issues, but obviously, of course, I want to own the series so I can kind of, you know, flip through. Okay. And that is the third deluxe edition of Y the Last Man. If you've not heard of it, I have a comic recommendations video I probably might leave in the description, or you could just click my channel name and you can just scroll through and check it out, but all I have to say is it's a very great series by Brian K. Vaughan. I'd highly recommend. Go check it out. I don't think you would regret it. Now on to the library books. I've actually read 2 of them, and I'm currently reading one of them. Wait for a second. Okay, the first one I'm going to talk about is Undivided by Neal Shusterman. I'm not going to talk about what I've specifically thought of the book, but I'm going to talk a little bit... Sorry about that. I'm going to talk about the series a little bit more in my May wrap-up, even though half the series I did mention that I was reading through it at the end of my last wrap-up, but, you know, I've read the third book at the beginning of this month, and I read this. I'm not going to say much besides, I quite enjoyed the series. The next book I have is a very popular one, and that is Simon vs. the Homo Sapien Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I actually quite like this book. I'm not going to get into too specifics, which I'll mention more in my wrap-up later in the month, but yeah, just to say, I like this book. The next one I'm actually currently reading is, of course, The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I'm not too far into it. I'm only at least, like, 9 chapters in, so I'm not too far into it. So far, it's okay. Sorry if I'm looking off camera. There's like a pile of books I have in this chair over here. It's kind of slipping. Yeah, I would say so far it's okay. It's it's okay. Good book, Becky Albertalli. But I'm kind of too early to judge the book on its own. But yeah. And now to the books that I have not yet read, but I will read. The first book I'm going to mention that I will read after I finish The Opposite of Required is If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo. I just got this because since I got both Simon and If It Was Requited, I decided why not get another LGBT book, trans main character, trans author, yeah, so I was like, more why the fuck not. The next one I have is The Sky Is Everywhere by Jenny Nelson. She written a very famous novel called I'll Give You This One after this novel she wrote before that, so of course I'm getting this because I want to see what her writing is like. The next is actually the only adult book I have in this haul, and that is Everything Here Is Beautiful by Mira T. Lee. I don't know too much about this book besides about two sisters, their mom dies, one's mentally ill, and it's kind of like a family drama, like, kind of like Rectify and Bloodline, if you've seen those. But I think it's like more of a quieter family drama. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing it. And also the cover, this cover is actually pretty beautiful. The next is actually an entire series, and that is the Chemical Gardens trilogy by Lauren Oliver, consisting of Wither, Fever, and Sever. This series has not really gotten the best reception. I know there's probably some people that do like this series out there, but from people who I follow, I don't tend to see much. In fact, I've seen some people who I follow who hated at least the first book. I don't think they continued too much into the series. All I know is it's this dystopian series about a girl named Ryan who's like in this world where you have to get married and be like a wife. It's like very polygamous society, but apparently it's something on the flap says like something about I think when you're going to die. And this is actually I'm not going to get to this month. Everything Here Is Beautiful actually be the last book I read this month. This series I'll be reading at the beginning of June, and hopefully I will delve into this series. So yeah, basically that's my book haul for this month, and I cannot wait to talk about it. Some of them are my wrap-up, so bye!